To the cloud. Oh, let me make sure you have a form first, Mayor. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
there's 5. Oh, wait, I mean, there's 4.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Finally, I'm sorry.
You gonna start the recording?
We tested this earlier and,
Okay.
and, yeah, okay,
You got the recording?
I do.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the public hearing for the redistricting commission report. And the public hearing tonight gives the council an opportunity to go over the report that was submitted by the commissioners. And the commissioners are Tim Lawson, who's the chairperson, L. Douglas, who acted as the secretary, and Mike Salant. I'm sorry. Each member of the commission was selected from Ward 1, Ward 2, and Ward 3. We have an ordinance that requires us to redistrict the city of Ferguson every 10 years after the census. So we had a 2020 census and we have a redistricting commission. And what they found in the process that Ward 1 had 6,864 voters. Ward 2 had 6,135 voters, and Ward 3 had 5,528 voters. As you know, from the 2020 census, Ferguson population is now 18,527 registered voters. So Ward 1 was the largest and Ward 3 was the smallest. So after they did their calculations, usually a municipality can only have 10% deviation, and Ferguson had 22% deviation. So after the commission looked at that, they came up with a proposal. And what they came up with, they worked diligently on this to bring this to the council. And the proposal of the Ferguson Redistricting Commission is to make the following changes in Ferguson's ward. Ward 1 census block containing 40 voters would move from Ward 1 to Ward 2. 14 census block containing 464 voters would move from Ward 1 to Ward 3. The full list of census blocks is provided in a data file created by St. Louis County Board of Elections based upon the commission's proposal. The population of the 3 wards after the change will be as follows. Ward 1 would equal 6,178 voters. Ward 2 would equal 6,175 voters. And Ward 3 will equal 6,174 voters, will give us a total of the 18,527 voters. So at this time, any council members, do you have any questions or comments concerning the report of the Redistricting Commission?
Mayor Jones, this is Heather Robinette. I do not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Noah?
No, I have no questions. Thank you.
Councilwoman Phaedra Nelson?
I just had one question. I just wanted to know, how did we come to the average of numbers for Ward 1, because that's moving Nesbit Newton to Ward 3?
It's the recommendation of the commission. They provided you with a map as to what they had decided. You have the map?
Yeah, I have that, but
Okay.
I'm just trying to understand, how does that,
The maps are over here posted. Okay. Let me go back and do something. Let me go back and do something.
I got everybody noted, so
Hmm?
I have everyone noted, but,
You have everyone noted?
I do have everyone noted. Noted, for attendance. I can go ahead and do it for you.
Yeah,
Council,
would you please do.
Councilwoman Noah. We're doing
Here.
attendance. Okay, thank you. Councilman Palmer is absent. Councilwoman Burrow is absent. Councilwoman Robinette,
Here.
Councilwoman Lipka is absent. Councilwoman Nelson.
here?
Okay, Mayor Jones.
Here, we do have a quorum present. I just jumped the gun a little bit. So since we don't have any further questions from the council,
How did the census block though determine that that particular neighborhood would be a part of a different ward though?
speaking of things, do we have one of the redistricting commission members on the phone who would like to explain how they selected the census block?
Thank you, Mayor. This is Tim Larson. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you all for looking at the proposal. The key thing that the numbers showed was that population in Ward 1 was significantly greater than the population in Ward 3. So there needed to be a movement of roughly 400 votes from Ward 1 into Ward 3. So we selected that area because it was contiguous and not particularly complex, and almost exactly moved the number of voters that needed to move from Ward 1 to Ward 3.
Can you get his volume any clearer?
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, we could hear you better.
Okay, I'll repeat some of what I said. The survey showed that the population of Ward 1 was significantly greater than the population of Ward 3. So we needed to move about 400 voters from Ward 1 to Ward 3. And the area we chose offered a very good contiguous, not particularly complex change that moved almost exactly the right number of voters.
Okay, with that, we're gonna go to public comments. You wanna go? Clerk Pippin has the sheet that everyone signed up on to speak. When she called your name, could you please go to the podium and speak? And you have 3 minutes.
Okay, first I have Marlene Turner Clark.
I'm Marlene Turner Clark, and I'm representing Ferguson and Nesbit. I'm sorry, Nesbit and Newston. Okay, take my mask down. Okay. Can you hear me now? And I'm asking the same question that Ms. Nelson asked. How did you come up? It's not regulating with me of how you come up with this figure and making this our ward 3 instead of 1. I'm not understanding that. You have to explain it a little clearer to help me to understand. Because it's a lot of older people in that neighborhood, and I'm speaking for them and myself, and they've been here longer than I have. And to me, it's not right. It's not right at all. So I want to know the actual steps and how you come with that. Because it's not clear. It's not clear at all. Can someone help me to understand this?
Mr. Lawson, he did explain that Ward 1 is the largest ward.
Hmm.
Ward 3 is the smallest ward.
Okay.
In order to make the ideal population between each ward equal, they used the formula, and the ideal population was 6,178. So they had to move people, census blocks from Ward 1 to make up Ward 3, and move a census block from Ward 1 to increase the numbers to Ward 2.
Hey, now, getting to this question, how did he come about, or they come about the census? Because in actuality, I'm at home all the time. And I came out the door one day and the census man was there. And he went to the door next door to me. And I know that it was more people in that house, but yet and still he didn't go in there to find out. So how are we to know that this census man did his job correctly?
Only thing we could go by at this time is what was reported to the US Census. And that's the only information that we use, and what was reported to St. Louis County Board of Elections.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna say this. St. Louis County Board 2 is kind of behind, it's behind a lot of things. It's behind the map, the plat. It never been updated for 100 years. That's 100 years, and it's supposed to be updated every 10 years. So how are we gonna go along with that census versus what you're telling me about that? I mean, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say, how do you know that that is correct? You're going by what someone's doing, because I've seen the man, he skipped houses. People weren't there. I mean, you can't go by that.
That is the data that was provided to Ferguson from the US Census and St. Louis County. That's the data that we have.
So what is North Wind in our county? I mean, in Ward 1, North Wind?
North Winds,
Is that's in
North
2?
Winds is in Ward 3.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I have nothing else to say about that then. That's not right.
Your time is up.
Okay.
Okay.
Next is Doris Smith.
Hello, everybody. On Nesbit, this morning, I ain't never seen that many kids. The parents was out there with them. all those 8 kids and parents, I have never seen those many kids. Then on Newton, 9601, there were 14 people stay in that house. The boyfriend burned the top floor, and the girl and her brother was sleeping down in the basement. We seen the light downstairs that was in the basement. And I said that we got all these people, we ain't never had that many people in the neighborhood like that, staying in your area and don't care. They just don't care. You got dirty people everywhere that don't want anything. And it make it hard for the good people that want something. And I'm tired of living like that. I might have to do like Paul, go to the senior citizen people, because it ain't working. Ain't nobody doing it, just talking. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Ain't nobody helping us. I have told them about them nasty people over there. They ain't did nothing. They still there. They had a man come in, cut their grass and weed. They did all that. But they ready to move back in their house now. You can burn your house up like that. And you got
Dorothy?
14 people in that house.
I need you to stay focused on talking about the commissioner's report about how Ferguson is going to be redistrict. Okay,
Well, I ain't got no more to say. If y'all wanna do what you wanna do, you can, but I'm gonna move from that area myself.
Next, we have Adrian Shropshire.
Mrs. Shropshire.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
Council, and citizens. I can say I'm up out of the air affected areas, but there's a few things that I have not heard from the commission. We've not had an outreach firm to outreach to our community to let the citizens know that are affected. To my understanding, depending on the amount of outreach, there's supposed to be some kind of firm hired during redistricting. A demographic. I have not heard that council is not a demographic. And that requires costs of $30,000, depending on the amount of work that he has to do around the neighborhood. I've not heard anything about a city attorney as legal advice, because right now there's 12 cases in litigation in the United States of America for redistricting. They're in US Supreme Court in litigation right now. Is this done for political gain? I don't know. The numbers aren't saying that. But I think too, the citizens have to be able to be educated on what's going on. I'm asking the council to put this off to 2023 to do more research, bring a community outreach director in to reach out to our community to let them know what's going on. And there's a word in here that I didn't bring up. It's called gerrymandering. I think the mayor might know what that means, but it's a manipulation of district line to protect or change political power within a. And I don't know if that's the reason here, but the numbers say it's balancing out our neighborhoods. I'm just bringing things in that I haven't heard said. I think we should have had more town hall meetings, because right now people are unaware of what's going on with this district change. So that drops back to what I was saying about the community outreach. We had no to very little community outreach. Everybody doesn't have computers. And I just feel this should be put off, this decision. I'm asking the council and the committee that brought up the numbers to offset this to 2023 so we can educate our citizens more on this. Thank you.
Stevens.
Mrs. Stevens?
Okay, good evening to all. First of all, I have reviewed the proposal that was
Please
submitted,
turn your phone
by-
off.
redistricting commission. The redistricting proposal should not cross West Florissant, in our opinion. I am Don Stevens from the Northern Hill subdivision, which includes Fargo Drive on the north, Royce Drive on the west, Lane Drive on the south, and Gage Drive on the east. The Northern Hill subdivision should remain in Ward 1 due to future discussions in reference to becoming a historic district. In our opinion, Ward 3 should be extended going east from the west boundary of Edge Hill Drive. Currently, Edge Hill Drive, 145 on the map, is the boundary line in the middle of the street, meaning the even side, the west side, is Ward 3, and the odd side, east, is Ward 1. Here's the proposed changes that we, the neighbors, the Northern Hill subdivision, would like to see if the redistricting is really necessary. Ward 3 will extend to the odd side of Edge Hill Drive, 145, to Forest Wood Drive on the south, meaning that there'll be one house on the north side of Forest Wood to Ward 3 to Highmont Drive, which is 134 on the map. Both sides of Highmont Drive will be Ward 3 to Bayview Drive. That's two homes on Bayview Drive. On the south side will be Ward 3 to Renshaw Drive. And those addresses 144 and 146. Renshaw Drive, both sides of the street, will be Ward 3 to Forestwood Drive. After review and the numbers are not close, another option would be extended to Fenwick Drive, both sides to Ward 3 to Bayview Drive. First of all, I'd like to thanks to Redistricting Commission for their dedication to the task at hand. But at the same time, we still need to take a look at the proposal, need to look at postponement also. So thank you for your consideration and look forward to your response. I do have copies for the council and also for the Redistricting Commission, which I will leave with our city clerk, Ms.
Please
Pittman.
do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson.
Next, we have Tiffany Ellis.
Evening.
My name is Tiffany Ellis. I'm a citizen of Northland Hills. And I have a petition with some signatures from the citizens in the subdivision. And they agree with the proposal statement made by Don Steven, and I'll read a statement. It says, "We, the undersigned citizens, residents of Northland Hills subdivision, disagree with the recommendation to the redistrict and split of our subdivision into 2 wards. Please take this consideration of the proposal submitted from Don Stevens and its concerned citizens." And I can leave a copy with you. Thank you.
Please leave all the information with the city clerk. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Ann Jocko.
It's Ann Jacob, but that's okay.
Sorry about
I wanted to know, even though you all just a proposal on this map thing here, and then y'all spring it on us like it's a surprise, because you didn't give us enough of notification. It's a lot more people that didn't even know about this. And so a lot of them didn't get a chance to get a ride and stuff like that. But the council people, I don't even know them people. Isn't it time to vote them out or something?
Stay on topic.
Okay,
please.
everything is new And when you don't know anything and they don't want to share anything with you, it's not very good. And I know COVID has been very hard on a lot of us and stuff working at home, but these council people that I only seen them on a piece of paper or something, not in person. And I do come to meetings, but I know the COVID, we haven't had very many meetings. But to split us up like, like you're cutting a cheesecake or something. It's a lot of people that's been here a long time in this area that you and took Nesbitt off of West Florissant and put us over here on the other side. We always been in there with Emerson. And those men there, I know they used to come to a lot of our meetings and they agree with a lot of stuff. But the commission just take us and cut us off like a piece of cheesecake and then gonna throw this in our face and say we should accept it. I don't want to accept that because you haven't explained it very well to most of us. And I'm one of them. I'm Ann Jaco, and you ain't explained nothing to me. But I don't understand why we have to go through this without knowing anything. Your proposal is, you don't even live in our area, but you propose to do this because of the censors. There's so many people in the area, like this lady was saying. It's so many people in the area. Yeah, a lot of them don't vote, but us that vote. And since we was in Ward 1 and we had the most votes and tried to keep up on things and stuff like that, but to split us up like that without even considering the other people, the area, it's just not right. And I don't know the committee people and they don't know me, but you ain't gonna sit up and just throw us aside because that's not the right thing to do. And I know about the censors and I do vote all the time. I vote all the time. I make it my business to vote because that's my right. And so I'm gonna let it stay like that, but those committee people, they need to show their faces more. I don't even know them. I haven't seen them in person, and don't tell me about COVID, yeah. And they pictures that they have of them are old pictures. I don't know how they look now, but they don't care about us, but they gonna go by the censors thing that you think, it's not right. And I don't like it. And we're gonna stay here and we're not gonna, if we don't want it, we don't want it. And the committee gonna have to talk to us face to face and tell us why. We need some news people to understand, to tell us, because they're on our committee and they don't tell us anything. And that's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, last, I have online, it's gonna be Nick Kassoff.
Mr. Kassoff. Can he hear?
Yes. Okay, I'm here. Sorry, I had to hit my mute button. You guys can hear me now, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. My name is Nick Kassoff, and I am a resident of Ward 2 and a resident of the Jeske Park neighborhood. And I just have a couple of brief comments. First of all, I want to echo what some of the other speakers this evening have said, and that is that keeping a neighborhood together in the same ward ought to be a primary goal of redistricting. If you split up a neighborhood, particularly those who get thrown into a new ward, they're going to have a council representative who may not be familiar with the issues of that neighborhood. And we have distinctive neighborhoods in Ferguson, so that's important. Numeric equality, of course, is one of the criteria for redistricting, but redistricting doesn't require absolutely perfect numeric equality, and striving for numeric equality at the expense of other important considerations isn't necessarily a good thing. Now, I have a specific and very small change that I would like to to ask for in regard to that concern. Under the proposed plan, Ward 2 would cross Elizabeth into the Robert Superior neighborhood, picking up 40 votes from an area between Laurel and Royal and extending 1 block east of Elizabeth. Those 40 votes being residents of the, or 40 residents being residents of the Robert Superior neighborhood. Now, I understand that that creates absolute equality within 1 or 2 people, which is a pretty nifty thing to achieve. But again, that's not the only priority. We can do better by leaving that area in Ward 1 and instead expanding Ward 2 to include Jeske Park itself, which has no residents, and the census block just to the east of Jeske Park, bounded by Robert Thurman, North Clay, and the park, that containing 54 residents. It is a smidgen less precisely identical if you do it that way, but what it does is it reduces the division of Jeske Park between multiple wards, and it doesn't introduce a new division in Robert Superior. So I think that's an important improvement and a very small price to pay. As for the changes that are being asked for elsewhere in the city, honestly, I was focusing on my own ward and neighborhood for tonight, and I'm not really familiar with how the numbers and lines work out there. But I do believe that neighborhood integrity is a very important consideration and clearly was pushed to the side in this proposal. I hope that we can make the change that I've asked for to improve that, at least in regard to the boundary between Ward 1 and 2 and Jeske Park. Thank you.
Mr. Kassoff, does the city clerk have your proposal?
I do not know, but I'll be happy to, I'll email it to her tomorrow morning.
Okay, would you please mail your proposal to the city clerk?
Yes, I will do that, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, city clerk?
No, ma'am.
We have heard everyone's concern. We've asked that you give your proposal, your comments or whatever, and turn them in to the city clerk. The city clerk will compile them and get them to the council members, and we will have a chance to sit down and talk about all of this and possibly maybe meet with the commission. I don't know until I talk to all of the council members. So at this time, whenever the clerk get the information together and she sent it out to us, I will speak to the council and we'll meet and talk about everything that you have suggested to us to keep your neighborhood in as one. Thank you.
Mayor, can I just offer maybe one
Go
additional
ahead.
suggestion? Since some members have said they were unaware, I know we had information on our website. We put it in the news article as well. But perhaps we can extend just some additional time so that they can gather their proposals and get them to us.
Okay.
I don't know if that'll be okay with you and the council, but perhaps if we can extend it to maybe September the 30th, now that we do have, people in our presence,
Okay,
maybe we can do that, extend it to September 30th, and if everyone will get to me their proposals, and then I can compile it and give it to the council.
okay. Clerk Pittman has suggested that you give your proposal or anything you have to her by September the 30th, and she will get it to the council. But the information was printed in the Ferguson Times, and the information is on the website. So we're going to take everyone's comments in consideration. Thank you. I'm requesting a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved, Heather Robinette.
Second, Naquita Noah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We are adjourned.